Hey everybody, welcome back to another edition of PD and PDubs Unscripted here on Friday, April 1st. And PDubs, does it feel like April 1st?
Absolutely not. This is crazy. Every time we get on a podcast, we talk about how fast the calendar is going, and now we're in April.
Right, almost a quarter of the way done with the year.
This is amazing. So, all that I can see is I keep talking about I want nice, warm weather. I've had enough of, the winter and things like that. So
I had enough of the winter weather in October.
I know, but now, April showers, we're going to have a lot of rain. We're going
to have Mayflowers then, right?
I hope so. Yeah. So good to be with you today again.
Good to be with you. And as Friday, as everybody knows, is our community connections. And so today we have another special guest with us, Nicole Mathes, who runs the Discovery Camp here at Immanuel. So Nicole, welcome to PD and PDubs Unscripted.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's really great to have you here, and we really appreciate you spending the time to come and talk with PD and I. And, Nicole is an alum of Immanuel.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Do you remember what year you graduated?
I do. It's a long time ago.
A long time ago. All right. So she's being very good there. She was an alum here, and you've done some awesome things with regard to giving back to the Immanuel community, and really have just launched this awesome camp that runs through the entirety of summer that we just wanted to share with our listeners so they could get to know you as one of the directors, and also just about our camp and what are you trying to accomplish with the kids and the places you go, the people you see, all that fun stuff.
If you need any help.
Yeah, exactly. So we welcome you, and anything you want to share, about yourself, hobbies, family, interests.
Sure, I can start with that.
Okay.
I am a school psychologist. I got my doctorates from Michigan State University just this past August. So I love kids. So summer camp, thank you. So summer camp is the perfect thing for me to do in the off season. Mm-hmm. I love running. I have a goal to run a half marathon in every 50 states, and I just hit my 20th state this past weekend.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
20th state.
Mm-hmm. P-Dubs, how many marathons?
I'm a little behind.
Just halves.
Oh, how many half marathons have you done?
Wait, I need more fractions. I need halves of halves of halves.
Well, you've done a 5K.
I did the Bobcat Blitz.
That's amazing.
Running
is
twice.
Running.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I'd call it running, Nicole,
okay,
but it was moving.
Yeah, I think my worst was doing an 8K. That one got me.
Yeah, you really went at it that one time.
Yeah. What was I thinking?
And you did it all by yourself, and
headphones and music makes it. But man, was I sore for the next few days.
Wow. So 20 half marathons.
Just for the states, that counts. I don't actually know my count for halves, but.
Oh, so you've run more than 20.
Yes.
It's just 20 states.
Yes.
Okay, so what was the most memorable state of which you ran a half marathon?
Oh, gosh. I feel like it's cheating to say this last one, but it was significant for me. Probably the Disney Princess half marathon, because you get to go before the park is open and you're running through the park. So that was pretty memorable.
Oh, that's cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And so what's the highest you've finished in any one of those?
My time?
Yeah, like place. Or do you even know that? Do they just tell you your time?
Oh gosh, they do tell you your place.
Okay.
I'd have to. It depends on the race.
Okay.
I have placed in my age group before.
Okay.
It depends.
Let's just go there. Yeah.
So for a half, I have finished anywhere between first and third in my age group.
Wow, look at you go.
Thank you. And I have won a 5K before. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pastor, did you get a medal?
No.
You should have for finishing.
I got a magnet, and I think I've shared that story because, when I was doing that 8K, they're like, I saw the trail off if I wanted to finish and do a 5K, or I could keep going to an 8K, and I signed up for the 8K, and I was like, well, then I'd be lying if I put the magnet up that said I did an 8K.
Yeah.
So I had to keep on pressing on for that last 3K, and it was not easy.
Well, I did get a medal at the Bobcat Blitz for my age group.
Okay.
And,
congratulations.
I might have been the only one in my age group running in the
bling is
race.
bling.
Yeah, so I proudly have it displayed in my bedroom next to my bed as a reminder for me to get going and, not give up on running. I'm just not the greatest runner.
That's okay. It's sometimes the best way to see the world, which is why I like to do it.
That is so cool. Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing that. That's really awesome hobby to have. And
Yeah.
so, last question on the half marathons. How many do you usually endeavor to do a year?
When I started the goal, I was ambitious and I thought, 5 a year, but it's expensive and it's a lot. And, now working in the schools, that's hard to do. So we aim for like 3 to 5 a year.
Okay. Yeah. Fantastic.
It's 3 to 5 more than I aim for each year.
You're welcome anytime.
Well, I'll be glad to root you on.
Thank you.
So anything else, or you want to just kind of dive into the whole Discovery Camp talk?
Discovery Camp sounds great.
Yeah. So how did this all begin with Discovery Camp at Immanuel?
So this will be my 14th year with Discovery Camp and my 12th year as the director. So I've started ever since I was 16.
Wow.
Just had an interest for kids always. So I knew that was something that I wanted to do. Have been active with kids. And then the program has just grown for the last 14 years. We started with having like 20 to 25 kids a day. And now we're averaging to anywhere between 65 to 80 kids per day.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy good. That's awesome. And so you run from like June to August, so the end of the school year to the beginning of a school year, basically?
Yep, pretty much. This year it'll be a little bit different. It's going to start on a Wednesday. So it'll be Wednesday, June 8th, and it'll end on a Wednesday, August 10th, I believe.
Okay.
Just to give people some start and a little bit of time before it starts and then end time to get ready for the school year. And we have some staff who work for the local district, myself included. So we had a snow day and we go into that first week of June.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's all day long or part day, or how does that work?
Good question. So camp runs from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. We before care is from 7 to 9, and that's more of like free choice. You can have breakfast. It's kind of our early drop-offs. And then we have aftercare from 4 to 6 p.m., which we do have structured clubs. We have a running club we call Mileage Club.
Nice.
We have a reading club because most kids have required reading.
Yeah.
And then we have a snack time. But our actual camp day where we have our like recreational and like arts and crafts activities, that'll be from 9 to 4 p.m.
Okay.
Yep. So I can talk a little about that.
Yeah, please do.
So this year our theme is a cinematic experience. And so it's like joining us at the red carpet. So each week we have 10 weeks of summer camp. And so each week is a different movie that was either nominated for an Oscar or won an Oscar.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah, so we're really excited about that. So all of our morning activities from about 9 to noon will be like STEM activities. So arts and crafts, science experiments. We do a little group time. They go outside. Those activities will be around those weekly movies. And then we go to the pool at the Family Aquatic Center in Palatine 3 times per week. And then we'll go on a field trip every Wednesday, and then we'll go to a local park every Thursday. So that'll be our afternoons.
I know every time I come around the place in the summer, the kids are always on the move, like going to a place to have fun. And I think that has got to be something that they really look forward to, like every day. Like you guys make it so much fun. It's so cool.
Because especially the pool day, because what kid doesn't love going to the pool?
Right.
You'd be surprised.
Oh, there are some. Okay.
But you got the sandbox, you got the grass, so you got lots of different options there.
Good. Yeah, but 3 times a week for a pool? That's not bad.
And no added cost, like, right? They don't have to pay to get in.
We do ask that families have their own pool passes or punch cards. So that one's not included in our cost, but it is worth it for them to be able to go, especially if they go with their families like after camp. So, yeah.
And so what are some of the fun places that you've taken them off-site other than the pool, like, any kind of bus
Like
trip?
the field trips.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've been to probably, I think, every Chicago museum downtown. We've been to Lincoln Park Zoo. We've gone to the Morton Arboretum. We've gone to movie theaters. We've gone to Medieval Times. We've gone to the local Taekwondo place. We have made our own candy at Mork's Chocolates. So just kind of a variety there.
That's great.
Yeah, all different interests.
I bet the Taekwondo place was fun.
Yes. Yeah. It's
mean,
actually a friend of a family friend that I went to high school with.
Awesome.
So she always does a great job with our local camp in that partnership. So we love that.
Nice.
Very cool. And what are the age groups of the kids?
Yeah, so we do preschool through 8th grade. So it's about age 4. They have to be potty trained through 8th grade. So they're about 13 years old.
Okay.
And we have what's called a 4 to 5-year-old camp, which is going into pre-kindergarten and going into kindergarten. So they're lumped together for the morning activity, so it's more age appropriate. And then we have our school-age campers, our 1st through 8th graders together, but they are split by grade level since that's a big group, so that they travel together for our morning activities. But everybody meets up so that we can eat lunch at the same time. So we have that camaraderie. We travel to the pool together. We travel to field trips together. So they can interact, which is really great to see some of the big kids helping the little kids.
Yeah, that's really important.
Yeah.
And because kids look up to other kids, and the older ones don't mind having the little ones around. It's a great way for them to connect.
And you've probably seen some of those older kids now become the mentors of younger kids when they used to be the younger kid.
Yes. Yes. It's crazy to see some of them grow up too into who they are as they get into that adolescent age.
Now, you have a lot of helpers in managing this camp, a lot of counselors. Have any of previous campers become camp leaders over time?
Yes, it actually, it's happened a couple of times, but just last summer we had a couple of counselors who did the whole summer camp from when they were preschool through 8th grade be able to join us. And that was really a surreal moment and really cool. And so it was nice to see them on the other side of Discovery Camp. But they remembered us, so.
Awesome. And so how many volunteers do you typically have in a summer for Discovery Camp?
Good question. So our staff, we like to aim to be in 12 to 15, but with the growing numbers, we'd really like to have 15 so that we can have at least 2 for every age group, 2 counselor for every grade level. And then for the little ones, we need a little bit more help. So we are looking for staff to help us out, counselors this summer. If they are interested, we could always use another set of hands.
Fantastic.
So yeah, any like qualification, age range for volunteers?
Yeah, so we do take 16 and up, but 18 and up is preferred just to have a little bit of work experience. You have to be able to work with kids and be able to move on your feet since we are pretty active and be willing to, do some of those activities with the kids. But really just a positive attitude, ready to show up on time, be responsible and reliable.
And just to kind of clarify, you're looking for paid staff.
We are,
So volunteers are great, but you're really looking to have that commitment to pay the person, and so it gives them an opportunity to earn some income over the summer.
Yep, we have had volunteers, but it is a little bit harder just given our schedule and, things are ever changing and the kids are ever changing. Some consistency is really nice, so.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I would imagine that over the last couple of years with COVID and all of that, you've really had to adjust like everyone else has. And so have you seen any kind of effect of that with regard to your camp? As you look out to things that you want to try and do in the future, has anything changed in the landscape of like your camp?
The biggest thing is that it grew post-COVID, which, we were really surprised by, gratefully surprised by, but we noticed that kids were really craving that social interaction. And so our camp is not just for Immanuel students, but we have a lot of students from public schools or who have heard about our camp through word of mouth. And so really, we were fortunate that last summer we were able to have camp pretty much run as expected with masks and everything, but we were able to go on field trips. We were able to go to the pool. We were able to go to the park. And that was really important for kids to be able to just interact with kids in their age group after being, in the house and not seeing one another. So that is the biggest change that we had seen. And then something else that we had started actually pre-COVID, but we thought was really important was what we call group time. And so that's actually a time that I run with the campers, but it really focuses on social emotional skills. And so thinking about coping skills, social interaction skills, and just a time where, with 80 kids, it's really easy to get lost in the crowd to make sure that they had an opportunity with their grade level to do some team building and team bonding and get to know people outside of their friend group. So that was another important thing that we thought.
Well, I can see you're really using, what you've learned and earned in your degree, and applying it to like something that's really critical right now, because the things that you've talked about, the social, emotional, the community connection with our children is so vitally important. And, our children have really been, confronted with that, being remote and things like that through the COVID pandemic. And so I'm grateful that you're applying those things that really are going to strengthen their development. That's really cool.
Yeah, because I'm sure, especially last year, having some interesting conversations as, some return maybe to school that year in person, some were remote, and how that, because I know we saw that in VBS last year, kind of the different maybe development delays that might have been, especially for the younger ones, because they weren't used to being in a school setting, and then being in VBS, it was like they're not used to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that to me, what you said about the group time, to me, if I was a parent listening to you just share all that, that would be something as a differentiator, I would imagine. Because like when you said, when you're one of 80, it's easy to get lost throughout the day or over a course of days. But you're recognizing that, and you're creating quality time and interaction to have that child feel like they're seen, valued, and heard, and so forth. And so I hope you all hear that Nicole is really trying to understand, what our children need now, as a result of going through this time of pandemic. So, any other things that you like to share about? Like, are there ice cream days? Are there snack days? Like, is
Pizza day, or
pizza day?
Or what are the 10 movies that are?
Yeah, what are the 10 movies?
Oh gosh. So I'm thinking about like, what would the kids answer? What's their favorite part of summer camp? And it really just depends.
Yeah.
The movies are ranging from back into the 90s all the way up until 2020. So from Aladdin to onward, we're in there. So probably some movies that some of those kids have never heard of.
Okay.
Well, Aladdin's like the best Disney movie.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Arguably,
Pastor's
yeah.
a big movie buff, if you didn't know.
Okay.
I do like movies, but I don't know.
We could do a podcast. Well, you could, just like movie critiquing, and I could just follow along.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, usually the ones that are up for like best picture, I'm like, no, that doesn't sound interesting. There's only like a handful. I don't even know what was up for best picture this year.
No, but you're always you go back. So like when Nicole says, "Oh, we got some in the '90s," I mean that's in your sweet spot.
Well, some, yeah, maybe not all the kid ones, but when I think of '90s, I think of like Shawshank Redemption, which I know won't be.
Oh well, that won't be on.
That
the
won't
list.
be on there.
Okay.
But that is a great movie.
A lot of good songs came out of Aladdin, though. I remember watching that with my kiddos, like
First week.
over and over and over again. And so,
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were about to sing a song. I was like, I don't remember that song.
no. I wasn't going to break out in song today.
Okay, but yeah, and you have Robin Williams as the genie in that movie.
Oh man, that is hilarious. He was perfect in that. So
Yeah. I will say this. One, our movie nights are every Wednesday. So you're always welcome to join us, after the work day or during the work day, for our movie days. But what we are trying to do, we did this pre-COVID as well, what we called Kids Night In, but we really want to reach our community as well and our families. So it probably won't happen every week. Our goal is at least once a month, but we would like to do a movie showing once per month based on our theme. That's more of like a drive-in movie. So families can come on in.
Fun.
Yeah, and it can be non-camp families, but obviously that will be our biggest demographic there. But so we're hoping to do that this summer as well, and our staff will be there, so we'll have that partnership too.
Nothing beats a good drive-in movie.
No.
I mean, I only know of one in the area.
That's the one in McHenry?
In McHenry, yeah. And I see some of our school families, church families, going out there and enjoying that. So to have that there, I could see that being a winner.
Wish us luck with that technology.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah, a lot to do there.
Yeah.
For sure. So
and another thing I was saying is you were talking, what are like, I think this is important for parents, like safety precautions. A lot of parents are probably concerned, what are the safety precautions?
Like how we watch their children.
Yeah, just in general, not the whole
I'm
like
thinking COVID. I'm
not
COVID on
yeah,
mine.
not necessarily COVID, but just those safety precautions because it's such a key thing nowadays.
Yeah. So it's ever changing. So I'm going to try and remember all the things that we do. But kids have to check in and check out every day with the parent. The parent has to check in with the staff member. Kids can't just leave. And so we have somebody at the front of the door when kids walk in and check out. So that's the biggest thing. In terms of groups, because again, 80 kids is a lot of kids. Each kid, as long as they're old enough, sign in on a clipboard that's for their grade, and then our staff takes care of the little ones. And so every time they do a transition, even if it's up to the playground, back into the cafeteria, the camp counselors responsible for that age group have the number of kids that they should have, and then the names of the kids, and they go through that every transition. When we go to like the pool or the park, very similar that each counselor is responsible for a grade. And so they check every time, and the kids know those counselors who they have to ask if they need to go to the bathroom or if they're leaving the pool area, things like that. If we do bigger field trips, we all wear the same color t-shirt with our camp name on it. And then they get a wristband with my phone number on it. So in case they do get lost, they just know to ask for Miss Nicole, and then here's the number. So those are some of our biggest safety precautions that we do to make sure that we keep track of the kids. And then if you ever see us out in public, we have nice safety cone colored visors that say Immanuel Lutheran Discovery Camp on it, so you know who the adults are.
Good. Wow, that's really well thought out. I love the bracelet thing that has your name and number on it. You know, that will reconnect the child back to you. So. And you have to do these kinds of things, you know, nowadays. And so we're grateful that you've thought through so many steps of safety, and that it becomes kind of something that's working in the background that the kids don't really mind, because they're just having a great time no matter what, you know. And like, so it doesn't like get in the way of the flow that you're trying to create. So you guys have a Facebook page?
We do.
Okay, so folks can take a look at pictures and...
Yep, pictures, any events that we do. We do have a couple of things during the school year for the longer breaks, like over Thanksgiving, Christmas, sometimes over spring break. It really just depends on when that falls. So they can see what their kids are doing during the week.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, what else do you think, Pastor?
So yeah, what are like the handles for Facebook or whatever?
Good question. So Facebook is ILCP Discovery Camp, and then Instagram is ILCP_Discovery Camp. So you'll be able to find us either way.
Yeah, and we'll tag this on Facebook and different things so people can find it when we post this.
And then if someone's interested in becoming a counselor, how do they contact you for that?
Yeah, the best way to do that is through the Discovery Camp email, since I'm not on site here at Immanuel all year. So that would be dcamp@ilcp.org. They can just send an email, and I can send them the link to apply.
Fantastic. Well, we really appreciate you stopping in today and being part of our community connection, because as you said, this camp is not just for Immanuel children. It's for our entire community. And it's not only for our entire community, but you're out into our community. And so our children are really being exposed to wonderful things in the Palatine community and in our greater community, as you said, as you take these field trips down into the city or wherever like that. So you're really enriching the children and their understanding of their world, you know, that they live in. So thanks so much for joining us today, Nicole.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah. Well, folks, we hope that you'll consider the Discovery Camp for your children. And as Pastor said, if you haven't written down what Nicole has already shared, we'll put it up on our podcast so you can find out that information. And have your kids have a wonderful summertime with Discovery Camp.